Welcome back. In this third section of Module 2, we'll explore the EU Charter of Fundamental Rights most relevant to tackling sexist and misogynistic hate speech, focusing on dignity Article 1, freedom of expression Article 11, equality and non-discrimination Article 21, and equality between women and men Article 23. Next, we'll look at the boundaries of online free speech, where protected expression ends and unlawful hate speech begins. Finally, we'll close with an interactive check for understanding the activity, which right is under attack, to put it into practice right away. After exploring in detail how to recognize misogynistic and sexist hate speech and distinguish it from more subtle forms of sexism, we'll now take a look at how the European Union addresses these issues through legal tools, fundamental rights, and legislative proposals. This is an essential step in understanding what can be done in practice to protect girls and women online. The EU Charter of Fundamental Rights isn't just legal background, it's the lens to read sexist and misogynistic hate speech. Article 1. Human dignity. When content degrades or dehumanizes women, calling them objects, animals, or less than human, it attacks dignity. That's not edgy opinion, it's a rights issue. Article 21. Non-discrimination. Sexist hate speech often pushes exclusion. Women shouldn't vote, don't hire women in tech. Targeting women as a group crosses from speech into unequal treatment. Article 23. Equality between women and men. Narratives that normalize female inferiority, silence women's voices, or justify keeping them out of public life undermine equality the Charter requires. Article 11. Freedom of expression. Yes, debate is protected. But when speech incites hatred, threats, or violence against women, it steps outside free speech protection. So, misogynistic or sexist hate speech doesn't just offend. It violates dignity, drives discrimination, erodes equality, and when it incites harm loses free speech protection. That's why we treat it not as mere rudeness, but as a rights violation. Be careful, freedom of expression is not a free pass to say anything. A statement like, "I don't support gender quotas," may be debatable, but it is protected speech. Very different is saying, "Women should be punished for stealing men's jobs," that is hate speech, because it incites harm against a specific group. The difference is crucial. Speech becomes punishable under the law when it includes incitement to hatred or violence, explicit threats against a group, or language that dehumanizes, such as comparing women to animals. The more public, targeted, and hostile the content, the more likely it is to be legally sanctioned. These are key criteria to assess whether speech crosses the line. A single hate message can violate multiple rights. Take the example, "She should stop talking, she's only here to be looked at." This message denies human dignity, discriminates based on gender, undermines equal opportunities, and silences the right to speak. This is why addressing misogynistic hate is so urgent. Freedom of expression is protected but only up to the point where it does not harm others. Speech that incites hatred, humiliates, or denies fundamental rights is not protected. In short, my right to speak ends where your right not to be attacked or excluded begins. After completing this module, you will recognize when sexist or misogynistic language crosses the line into hate speech, and you will link such expressions to the fundamental rights they violate under the EU Charter of Fundamental Rights. Now that we've covered which rights are violated by sexist hate speech, it's time to test your knowledge. In the next activity, you'll match real-life examples to the fundamental rights they violate. When you are ready, proceed to the next page of the MOOC and click the button to launch the activity, "Which right is under attack?" This is a great point to pause and reflect on what we've learned.